All right, so let's today take a look at like dealing with straight punches from a boxing style striker, because they are coming in a different formation with the hands, because boxers tend to point their fists downward, and they also tend to stand with a side stance as well. So there's a difference in their type of attack. Look, generally speaking, in self-defense, you're most likely to come across right hands, generally speaking, like wild right type hands, generally speaking, but it's still good to know how to deal with different, more precise punches. Like most people that practice martial arts aren't starting fights in the street. It's usually idiots that start fights in the street. But anyway, it's still good to know how to deal with more precise attacks. So the first thing would be, okay, to know what you should be doing as the attacker. So what we're gonna do is generally speaking, you've got like a side stance where your hips face off to the side, and you've got a square stance, right? Where your hips face forward. So I'd suggest you guys actually practice with a square stance, meaning when you're the bad guy, just so you're more like Wing Chun, so you're not training to do something overly different. So go with the square stance, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, and then your lead hand is, for today, let's make our lead hand our left hand, yeah? Just because most boxers lead with their left hand, generally speaking. Some lead with their right, but most with their left. Now to throw a boxing punch, you've got similar to a Wing Chun guard, except their hands are usually closer towards their face. Generally here to here would be here to here would be the general, so about 2 fist distance from your face is a general boxer's guard. And when you throw the punch, you turn the fist to point down. So the lead hand will turn to point down. So just have a quick go at that, guys, just because you're gonna need to do this with your partner, yeah? So lead leg forward left, so a splayed stance, not fully to the side, just front. And then the right hand comes over the top like this. So when they throw the right hand, they tend to turn their hips, and it comes down the same line. So it's like your right hand replaces your left, similar to the Wing Chun style punch. So get your foot further back as well. And this is how you're going to be attacking your partner today, okay? Just so you know what to do. I don't want to say, okay, this is what we're doing, and then you go to attack them and you have no idea what you're doing, okay? So simple as that. If you do get a little confused with this, just put your hand up and I'll give you a hand. So Carlson's the boxer. He's leading with his left hand. Now, in an ideal world, as he's throwing his punch towards me, I should already have my hands up, right? And as he's throwing his jab towards me, I want to intercept his punch. That's the whole principle, is that we always mirror and intercept, yeah? As a punch is coming to us, we want to get our hand in the way of it striking us, intercept it, right? So as his punch comes through, I want to make contact with the intention to drive my elbow and my fist towards his face, ultimately. So the things I want you thinking about here, we're just going to start off slow, and we're just going to start off with the first punch. We're going to build up on this into how you deal with a combination of punches coming at you. So first thing, starting facing forward. Once again, I don't mind if you're in front stance, like square or 1 foot forward, but what I do want is that your knees and toes point to their center. So you maximize the power of the legs, and they're ready to defend if they are to throw kicks down your center, yeah? So I don't want to see this. This is one of the biggest mistakes I see. You're open here and your weight's dropping out this way. So I don't mind front with 1 foot back or front forward, it's up to you. From here, as they throw their jab, you can start in your Wing Chun guard or 2 fists, it's up to you, I don't mind. You're going to make contact with the hand on the same side. This is in an ideal world once again. Now as he punches, I also want to step in and close the gap. Your target would be chin/throat if you can. If they've got a nice long neck, you can punch them in the throat. If they've got no neck, punch them in the chin, yeah? So this is all what you're thinking about. Stepping in, intercepting their fist, keep the other hand up for guard, striking to the chin. Just when you get used to that, your partner's just going to throw slow jabs, and you're going to get used to stepping through with the punch. Because what we want to do as Wing Chun practitioners is make contact with the person, close space where we're comfortable. We're comfortable in here. Most people aren't. Most people, once you get into this range, are going to try and run away, yeah? They're going to try and run, and that's where you want to keep closing the distance. Now, this is something that will serve you well as you age in your martial career. You don't want to be playing a long-range game against a fitter, stronger, faster person. You're going to lose because they'll move around you. Make sense? So our advantage is that as soon as they punch, we're making contact, yeah? We make contact so that we can cover the line of attack, start to offset their balance, and continue on. So things that we're looking for. As he punches, intercept. My target is the chin. I also want my weight going towards his balance. See how his balance is slightly offset, yeah? Hitting the target, very simple. Punch comes through, I intercept, go through to hit, offset the balance. We're gonna start with that and we'll build on it. Very simple. Slow it down, get a good technique with this, and we'll go from there. Any questions?
Just straight punches, no hooks.
Just straight for now, yeah. So the bad guy is left leg forward, left hand forward, throwing that straight punch, yeah? Just throwing a straight punch. And then from that straight punch, you're stepping through to hit, closing the distance, keeping your guard up, offsetting their balance slightly. You want to make sure you offset their balance because that's what weakens their defensive structure. If I don't, so if he holds a strong hand here and I just try to punch through without attacking his balance, see, it's not that easy. Whereas if I target everything towards his balance, it makes it much easier to actually destabilize this because there's nothing stable behind the arm if the balance is offset. Make sense? So that's the whole power plane focus. That's having the spine, the mass, the momentum, the intention, the energy always funneling into their center. Make sense? Alrighty, have a crack at that. 1, 2. So, look, we practice slowly so you can develop the skill for a real situation. Because obviously, in a real self-defense situation, Carlson's probably going to throw it a lot faster. Right? He's going to throw it a lot faster, and he's not just going to stop at one as well. He'll probably throw another couple of hands too. Yeah, and the thing is, though, you've got to remember is that. So what often people will say as a kind of counter to this, okay, you're stepping in here like this, right? Yeah, but they'll hit you with the right hand, right? So they'll throw this one over the top. But you've got to remember, this is training, yeah? So if this was a real situation, you wouldn't just be stopping here, you'd actually be hitting them, right? Yeah. So there'd be some movement there because of the actual hit. But your intention should always be to keep hitting the same spot. So we're going to follow with that concept first before your partner starts throwing multiple attacks. So now we're just going to simply add that as he throws the punch, I'm coming through, I'm intercepting, my spine's attacking his spine, I've got his balance, I hit, and then I'm going to keep hitting, yeah? I want to keep hitting, so I want you to just keep coming through your chain punch. I want you to practice keeping pressure on his balance as you chain punch. You see how I'm keeping a connection to him? I've made a connection and I want to keep that connection. And as I'm in here, I want to keep hitting, hitting, hitting. So I'm keeping my spine, my hips are trying to replace his hips, my spine is trying to replace his spine as I keep him off balance and keep hitting, yeah? And then people will say, oh yeah, but then they'll duck and they'll hook and they'll this and that. Yeah, but you're also throwing punches too. You know, you're keeping a connection to them and you're hitting them fast and hard as possible down the center, right? So the argument of, but they'll throw a right hand or but they'll duck and throw a left hook, you know, it's kind of invalid. He could. So let's just say he does try to then throw like duck or, so firstly there'll be nothing in that obviously, or if he tries to duck underneath and throw a left hook, I'm going to keep coming as well. It's not like I'm going to go, oh, okay then, he's throwing a left hook, I better cop it. So the chain punches is very effective because you're constantly offsetting their balance whilst attacking. So there's two things I want you to practice now. The first one is that as he throws a punch, you come through contact just like you did, but hit their balance and keep hitting, yeah? Keep their balance and keep hitting. The next thing I want you to practice, so I want your partner to mix it up, is they're going to fake. Because this is another thing what people say. They'll say, oh, but what happens if I fake? So if he goes to fake me, I'm going to hit him anyway. You know what I mean? So he's gone to throw a fake, good, punch him in the face. It doesn't matter, you know, because it's not, we're not playing for the context of a game where you score points. We're playing for self-defense. So if we do it slowly just so we can watch what's happening, as Carlson goes to fake punch me, I'm just going to hit through. So if you do it like a feint, yeah? Oh. Yeah, so it still goes. It's the same action. Hit him. You don't change. Oh, now that he feinted, I better do a spinning back kick. Like, you know, nothing changes. You just continue. So what your partner's going to do, so I'm the bad guy now, is I'm either going to throw the punch and he's going to come through, hit, keep it on my balance and chain, chain, chain. Just get used to, I'm just going to keep chain punching as I offset their balance. Or they're going to go to fake punch and he's just going to hit anyway. Yeah? I go to fake, he hits anyway. I go to punch, he hits anyway. Yeah? So just hit them anyway, is the idea. Make sense? All right, play around with that. 1, 2, let's go. Okay, so as you've probably started to observe, Wing Chun is based on a set of principles. Always cover the center line. Always intercept and control their hands. always pressure their balance. So you're using principles to apply to dynamic situations, right? As opposed to a set of techniques. Like I'm going to do technique 45 against this technique, for example. So now let's play around with, they've thrown their jab, you've come through to hit, you've offset the balance and you've hit. Now they're going to throw it in combination now. So he's thrown the jab, but he's going to throw his right hand straight after it. So I'm coming through to attack and hit, but he's throwing the right hand as well. So let's go straight down the pipe though. Let's not throw a wild hook. So I'm coming through, I'm hitting. Now as I'm coming through, now this is going to vary depending on really what happens, you know. So if he gets it through before I can hit him again, I'm going to block it and hit at the same time and keep coming through, yeah? So what your objective is to just use the chain punch again, right? But what might happen? As he throws this, I come through to hit, he throws that, once again I'll have to block it and hit. That might happen. Or he punches and I come through and I come in before. Now if you get in before, you might think, oh, this hand is open to hit me, right? But this hand should be hitting them. You know, so what I mean is you want to keep your pressure on their balance. Now, we're all friends and we're training partners, so just gently, you know, put pressure on them, don't actually punch them in the face, yeah? As much as you want to punch each other in the face, Marky Mark. Joke. So what I'm getting at is I just want you to get used to using your chain punch against a different style of attack, you know, against a 1-2 combination, yeah? So Carson has it on now. So Carson's the Wing Chun guy. I go to throw, and do it slowly so you can just get used to, okay, what does it actually feel like as I apply the chain punch? Because something you want to have in your mind is that the chain punch isn't a rigid or static motion. This is the kind of ultimate position to do it in that if you've got a clear target, okay? If there's a clear target, okay, great, whack, you know, nice straight line, the elbow's close to the body mass, I can drive that straight in whilst protecting myself quite well. But in a self-defense situation, you need to also protect yourself, right? Meaning the chain punch, this is still a chain punch. Meaning all these different shapes you practice in the forms are what the chain punches evolve to if they meet pressure. They're the shapes that they roll into if necessary. So as Carson throws a punch towards me, let's say I meet this and he's too strong for it to go through, then it might roll. Oh, there's that gun sound movement. Might roll through until it can hit. Or maybe I'm coming from the inside and there's too much pressure here. Oh, it starts to roll into a bong sao to hit. See, this shape. So your intention is punch the shit out of them, right? Really, just punch, punch, punch. And those shapes that you practice in your forms and your chi sao will come out naturally, like a ball rolling down a hill, if you've heard that one before, yeah? So, what am I getting here with this technique? As they punch, ideally you're punching right through. He's coming with the other punch. Now I'm on the inside, right? See the angle of my arms changed? This punch was coming from the outside, so my arms changed angle to stop that punch from clocking me one as I take his balance. See how it's still a chain punch, but it's changed angle to protect me. So don't think of chain punch as a rigid technique. It's a dynamic technique that can evolve according to the necessity of the situation. And this is something I want you to have in mind now. Your partner's going to throw 1-2, and you're going to, as you come in, so he throws his 1-2, I'm coming through, and I'm using that chain, okay? See how it's gone into like a bong sao strike now. So I want you to have a bit more fluidity with the movement. And what are we thinking about now? We're thinking cover the line of attack while striking. That's the principle, but that will become more natural the more you practice your chi sao. The more you practice your sticking hands, the more you'll get used to covering the lines of attack naturally, yeah? But it's good to be aware of the principles when you're training the techniques. Does that make sense? Alrighty, so we'll start with that just against a 1-2 strike. Same principles apply. Cover the line of attack, offset the balance, keep hitting through. And your partner's just gonna throw a 1-2, yeah? Then we're gonna add to that and we'll move on to sparring. Any questions? No, generally speaking, kickboxers, yeah, but not generally speaking, no. So I mean, that's a very good question because I mean, if this was a traditional, like you knew he was a boxer, right? Let's just say he had fucking gloves on and he said, I'm a boxer. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And you knew for sure. And you're in a ring. Yeah, that's right. I just happened to be in a ring. Yeah. then ideally, yes, it would be of benefit to just stomp through their knee because they wouldn't be prepared for a kick. I mean, that's an obvious one, yeah. So, good question. Kick them square in the nuts or break their knee if you know they're a boxer. But we're going to, deal with the hands for now. Any other questions? Good question, though. I like it. 1, 2. So now against the 1, 2. Let's go. Just to be clear on the principles, right? Because fighting is chaotic and it is dynamic. There's a lot going on. Number 1 is you cover the lines of attack. The line of attack is whatever's trying to hit you, the line that's taking to the target. So this is his line of attack. I want to cover that line. As soon as I cover that line, I give myself a level of, defense, right? So cover the lines of attack, intercept. The other thing I'm always thinking about is offset the balance, meaning my center to his center, or the power plane. So as I contact, I'm offsetting the balance, right? The next thing we're thinking about is to be relentless. The chain punch is relentless. It's just non-stop. You just keep thinking hit, hit, hit until they're over, right? So I'm being relentless. I'm coming through. Bang, bang, bang. Yeah, just keep punching, right? Now, one of the last components which I want to add to this now is precision. Because it doesn't matter how relentless you are, if you're not actually hitting a target that's valid, then they're just going to keep coming back at you. So if, for example, I'm coming in and to attack you and I'm doing stuff like this, he's just going to get angry. This flea is disturbing me. So what am I getting at? As you come through, you're covering the line of attack. You're attacking the balance. You're being relentless, and you're hitting valid targets. Chin, throat, busting the eardrum, yeah? I mean, if it's the upper body, yeah? Or even you've got the solar plexus, yeah? Bang, driving it in there as well. So I want you to slow it down now so you can keep these principles in mind, and the attacker's going to mix it up again. So the attacker's now going to go 1, 2, hook, right, yeah? So you go 1, 2, hook, right. So you're going to throw a combination of punches. So it's what you just did, but then after the right hand, you're throwing a left hook, then a right hand, yeah? So there's more punches coming. And if you're being moved, try to keep throwing them. So as Carlson throws that combination towards me, I'm coming through. See, I'm trying to hit, keep him up, and he try. So I'm just keeping in front and hitting. Now you've got to remember, if it's a real fight, you're not just going to be coming in slowly, but you're just ingraining the principles into your mind. Offset their balance, cover the lines of attack, be relentless, be precise. Yeah, make sense? Alrighty. Any questions? 1, 2, hook, 2.
There's a reason why I don't use this stance anymore. It is this one, definitely.
Yeah, it's a different context. Yeah, like I think in a ring fight, this is quite good because you're moving around, you're feinting. It's very safe. No one's going to jump you from the side, so you can play a game with them. Whereas in a self-defense situation, you need to finish it quickly. Yeah, because what happens if his mate's coming? Mark, always the one coming from the side. Runs to my table to take my beer. All right, guys, 1, 2. Let's go.